Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial on how to integrate dynamic content for Elementor with Search and Filters Pro using ACF. In this example, I created a menu page of a restaurant where, in addition to the various courses, we can choose an ingredient, if the dish is gluten-free, the types meat, fish or vegetarian, and the categories first course, main course or dessert. Let's begin. The first thing to do is to create the correct categories. As you can see, I created the dessert category, the first category, and the second course category. Once this is done, we can go on ACF custom field and create our field group called recipes. Inside there are three custom fields: main ingredient, which is a text field, gluten-free, which is a select field, and the type, which is a select field. As you can see, this is a text field, while here the type is select. I added yes and no as choices, while for the last custom field, which is select type, I added as choices fish, meat and veggie. Now let's look at the articles. For example, for the article Penny all'arrabbiata, we see that this has been placed in the category of first courses. At the end of the article, we have the main ingredient field, which is the text field, where we can manually insert the text. For the gluten-free field, instead, you can select between the values yes and no, and the same for the type, where you can choose between fish, meat and veggie. Now this is done, let's see how to set Search and Filter Pro so as to get this result. Here on Search and Filter Pro, I created my new filter form, which I called Filters. From the available fields, I simply dragged a search field without changing any setting. Three types of post meta field: the category field and the reset button field. For the first meta post type field, I selected in the meta key drop-down menu, I selected from the list the custom field that I created before, main ingredient. For the field gluten-free, I did the same thing by selecting the field I created with ACF gluten-free, and for post type by selecting the type field. If you want to give a title to this field on the search form, you have to insert it in this field, add a heading. A very important thing for Search and Filter Pro works with Dynamic is here in the Display Results tab, where we have to say that the method is not an archive, but select the Dynamic Post version 2 method of Dynamic. And we must also indicate the page where this result will be provided, so we must enter the correct URL of the page that will work as a template for the results. Let's save and see how I built the page. You will see that everything was created in a very simple way. The page created is the filter page. Let's change it with Elementor. As you see, it is a canvas page where I hid the title. In the header, I simply added an image, and then below I inserted an internal section with 2 columns. To the first column I gave a width of 80%, while the right column where the filter is housed has width of 20%. In this column I dragged the widget Search and Filter Pro. The only thing to do is to select the filter. In this case we have only one that I called Filters Selected, and here it is. In the left column I dragged the widget Dynamic Post v2. I selected Grid, yes for pagination, and Infinite Scroll. It scrolls until all the articles are finished. For the grid, I select 2 columns. I selected whether to make visible or not. I hid the author. I hid the button Read More. I hid the type. Basically, I left visible only the image and title of my article. For each field, there are all customization possibilities such as style, image size, typography, padding, margin, etc. Let's set the query of our Dynamic Post v2. If we go in the Query tab, as you can see, I selected Search and Filter Pro. Here, just select the filter we have created previously, in our case, Filters. You can see that really in a very simple way we have our filter working. If I now select chicken as the main ingredient, you see that the 2 recipes in which I manually entered the chicken text in the ACF field come out. If you are interested in gluten-free recipes, only gluten-free recipes are shown. You can combine both gluten-free and vegetarian, and are shown recipes that are both gluten-free and vegetarian. With the categories, I can filter for first course, second course, and dessert. Let's now see how to complete this tutorial by inserting a post manually. Insert text lorem ipsum. We insert the main ingredient, in this case cheese. Gluten-free, yes. Typology, veggie. Category, main courses. Insert the featured image. We then publish. You see that automatically the new dish has been inserted and also the main ingredient. If we choose between veggie and gluten-free dishes, appears in our list. I hope that this tutorial will be useful. For any questions, you can write your comment below. Thank you for your attention so far, and I hope you have a good day.